So the truth is that there's been a lot of misrepresentation about what Tantra is. Almost all of the teachers, though, who've brought that forward and who have had a role in kind of popularizing this mythology about Tantra, you almost can't find a single one tied to a tradition or lineage. In other words, they've kind of grabbed little pieces of Tantra, taken it out of context, and shaped a style of something, some process that gains popular interest. But also it's kind of appealing to people's lowest impulses. So like clearly Tantra rose to even be known fundamentally as the yoga of sex or the sex of yoga, you know. And indeed, you know, Tantra is this extraordinary canon of knowledge. Everything from yoga style, yoga itself, work with breath, meditation, kriya, visualization, working with spiritual practices and deity worship and all these kinds of things. And then it's so vast, they actually spent time over the centuries cultivating a science of architecture and design and how to work with the forces of nature and the directions of nature. Indeed, how to set a table, how to save money, what's an auspicious time to get married. One tiny facet of it had to do with sexuality. And it's probably 1/10,000th of the vast knowledge of Tantra was actually devoted sex. But even saying the word sex has gotten people's attention in listening to me speak right now. That's probably the one word they heard more than any other word. And so modern salespeople who dabble in spirituality have grabbed the sex element and propagated a style to gain attention and notoriety and students. So I had the great fortune of really learning with masters who didn't bother with any of that and who were linked to a tradition and lineage and who were, I'm going to say, spiritually awake, but moreover, they were just incredibly alive human beings. Joyous and full and incredibly powerful and graceful and sensitive and humble and illumined. That was the Tantra I got introduced to. Everything else, as I look at it, really is, I see it as a distortion. And in that respect, they were both rather conservative, far from hedonists. They were spiritual beings who had families and raised children and highly educated. And so I had living examples of what Tantra was and is. And when you look to the ancient tradition, you see that it's a process of purification. It's a process where really there are no shortcuts, and in fact, aim to integrate a human being completely. Not create exhilaration and then you lose your mind, but rather create integration and wholeness. And I would say that that actually is the path that's, one, more challenging to actually be an integrated human being. And it also requires a real understanding and application of the true tradition of what Tantra actually is all about. How do you become a person of weight and substance and meaning and bring greater light and positivity to the world? That's the heart of Tantra.